Hello, it's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. I haven't actually had time to sit down and talk to you face to face in ages, so great to see you. I thought this week I would share with you the process from beginning to end of painting a portrait commission that I had, and at the same time talk you through my 5 top tips for new artists. So if you're just starting out as a professional artist, these are the 5 things that I think would be the most helpful things to know and to put into practice. So the first one is to exhibit locally for free. That's what I have been doing, and that's what's been taking up quite a lot of my time, but it's also been one of the most practical things that I've put into place and one of the most beneficial. So the first thing to do is to go to local places like libraries, hairdressers, restaurants, coffee shops. The list is kind of endless actually, because it's anywhere that's looking to decorate its walls for free. So I filled up my local library, I have had my art in a local restaurant, and I've also managed to persuade my physiotherapist to put some of my work in his waiting room, because there's just white walls you just sit and stare at. So it'll brighten the place up and it'll get my name out there. I'll also leave a pile of flyers for my portrait painting services, and who knows, it's all good promotion and it just gets your name out there. That's the first thing you need to do, because you know about your art, it's your passion. Your friends and family, of course, know about your art, but the vast majority of people have no idea who you are or what you do. And if they don't know, they're not going to think of you if you do commissions, and they're certainly not going to think of you if they want to decorate their walls. So, number 1, get yourself out there.
Don't make the same mistake as I made by seeing the local businesses as doing you a favour in some way by letting you exhibit your art. It is a win-win situation. They benefit too by having your art displayed for free, and it also makes them look invested in their local community, which makes them look good. I've sold quite a few pieces this way, and art salons and gallery spaces that you can rent are really just there to make money for themselves. When you're starting out, I wouldn't waste your money trying to get your art into these spaces. I love the sound of a pencil on canvas, and if you're anything like me, then you probably like that sound as well. So here is tip number 2, and this one is so important today, and that is to have a strong online presence. Times have changed, thank goodness, and it's never been a better time to be an artist thanks to social media. Having a strong, professional-looking online presence is essential as a new artist today. Personally, I'd advise starting with 3 places, depending on your target audience. Because of my target audience, I began with a professional Facebook and Instagram page and a website. I would say a website is non-negotiable, but the other platforms you choose can vary depending on your target audience. I say to have 3 as they end up working together. You drive traffic from one to another, and the end result is more visibility in all places. There is a quite significant time issue involved in setting up all of these social media platforms and regularly contributing to them. That's a massive investment of your time, especially at the beginning, but it's so important. People need to get to know you, and you won't be discovered by magic. As the old saying goes, people buy from someone that they like, know and trust, and you need to get yourself out there for this to have a chance of happening. It's no small feat. Don't underestimate the time and effort involved. There's a great deal of hard work that goes into your marketing, and you need to either be good at and enjoy it yourself, or you need to employ a professional to help you. Alternatively, if you enjoy marketing but you don't know quite how to do it, then go ahead and invest in some training. Investing in yourself and in your skills is the best investment you'll ever make, because you have control of the outcome.
I'll just show you a bit of what I've been up to in the last few days, because I've not done a vlog in ages, and I think it's nice to show you a little bit of life outside of the art studio and what us artists also get up to in our free time.
We went to the local fun fair and I did not go on this ride, and I never would go on a ride like this. But it was really fun to watch, and I kind of felt everyone's adrenaline just from looking at it. I also looked at this ride and God, again, I went on one of these rides years ago and vowed that I never would again, and I will be keeping that vow, definitely. Oh, the joy of getting back in my quiet and peaceful studio again. Okay, so time for tip number 3, and that is know who your customers are, one of the basic rules of marketing. Once you have a strong online presence, you will start to notice and actually be able to keep track of the people who you attract. You'll probably find that a certain type of person is more drawn to your art than others. Once you establish who these people are, you'll have hit a major milestone at the start of your career. You can then relatively easily target these people via social media groups and also events in your local area where that kind of person may show up. Network. Go to that event, that party, that opening. Say yes to everything. You only need to meet one person who knows someone who would like what you create, and that will lead to a sale. I recently went to an opening evening for a holistic therapy school, as I know people who are into natural healing and alternative medicine are also people who buy my art. Lo and behold, I talked all evening to people who were fascinated by what I do, and one of them told me about a friend of hers who was looking for someone to expose their art in his restaurant. The next day I called up the restaurant, and now I have around 20 of my paintings set to be on show there for 3 months. I actually almost didn't go because that evening I was feeling particularly tired, but I just had this strong gut feeling that I needed to be there, and I'm so glad I listened to my intuition. You will find that at the beginning of your artist career that you're very close to burnout very often. So I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that you fit in time out of the studio and plenty of breaks so that you come back refreshed and more creative. I like your haircut. Very 80s. Nice in the sun. Ooh. Oh God, no! Just can't relax at any moment. Because Max just wants to eat other dogs. Maybe I had a dream actually that we can just let him off the lead and he can just sort out his issues. And we just let it happen and let the strongest win. We could try that. Maybe not. Way to do it. I think we'd end up having to pay some expensive vet bills.
Another really important thing to think about is how to diversify your income streams. In all business, it's important to diversify so that if one thing doesn't work one particular month, then you have another income stream from something else. So think about, depending on your niche, think about how your art could be sold in multiple forms. So for me, I make portraits, so I have portrait commissions, I make original paintings, and I make prints of those original paintings. For my particular niche, the prints wouldn't work so well on things like cups or cushions and things, but for other niches it could work really well. So, look around, look how you can make your art into a product, and that will help you to diversify.
Think about how you want to sell your art as well. Do you want to sell it just off your own personal website or via a platform like Etsy or ArtPal or Saatchi Art, just to name a few? There's advantages and disadvantages to each option, but I think there's no harm in being on a number of platforms at the beginning of your career. Are you an expert at what you do, and could you share this expertise to help others? Are you comfortable on camera? Think about maybe Patreon or YouTube, or sponsorship or affiliate marketing? Could you maybe create an online course? Look into all the options and see what fits with you and your natural talents best. Don't do something that you feel you need to force too much. Do what comes naturally, as you'll do it better. My last tip, and probably the most important, is to be consistent and persistent. A relatively small part of being an artist when you go professional is actually making the art. You'll need to get really good at marketing, accounting, web designing, networking, and goodness, so many other skills as well. This is at the very minimum, a 9-to-5 job. But at the start, and if you're serious about it, it's far more likely to be closer to the moment you wake up, like 7 a.m. And then as much as you can fit in, basically, in between everyday life until you go to bed, around about 11 in my case. So the day's broken up into things I have to do and then things I need to do for my business. And I don't just stop at a certain time of day. After a time of real discipline, struggle, hustle, plenty of failures, and yes, even a degree of barefaced pushiness, slowly you realise that you're getting there. Your website's finished and you're happy with it. This takes forever, by the way. Your online shop, if you have one, is open. You've found a place to show your art. You may have appeared in the local press. You've had inquiries about your art from complete strangers, and gradually you'll find that your business gains momentum. And this, my friends, is the best feeling in the world, as it gives you the kick up the butt to double down and work even harder at it, as now you can really believe in your goals and you can glimpse that they can actually become a reality.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found these tips useful, and just want to say, being an artist is a difficult career choice. It's very challenging because not only are you selling a product, but you're selling something that's really personal and comes from the heart. So be gentle on yourself is what I'm trying to say. And if you do persist and you make it work, then being a professional artist, being able to do what you absolutely love every day and share that with other people is worth all the hard work and all the effort that needs to be put in to make it happen. Next week I will share with you a video where we go to a local art exhibition and meet and interview a local artist who I find really fantastic and inspirational. So don't forget, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe below and to activate the little bell so that you don't miss out. Take care, stay creative, bye for now.